Hello families, we're still working on multi-step problems. Today we're focusing on visualizing and representing with labeled equations. Here's our problem for today. Sharon wants to make keychains with different colored beads as shown below. Each keychain will look the same. Sharon will use a total of 20 green beads to make all her keychains. What is the number of red beads and the number of blue beads she will need to make all of her keychains? First, let me think what's happening. Okay, so this girl Sharon, she's making these keychains and she's using 3 different colors on the keychains, 4 green, 3 red, and 6 blue. I figured that out from the picture and I labeled it in my picture. And then let me think, what else do I know? I know that she uses a total of 20 green beads. That's all the beads that she used, 20 green ones. What do I have to figure out? I have to figure out how many blue did she use and how many red beads did she use. Okay, let me think about what's happening. How can I represent that with a labeled equation and what operation? Okay, so she used 20 green beads. And I know there's 4 green beads on each. So I need to figure out how many keychains she made. So what's happening? So there you have total green beads and then you shared them out to a certain number. So I think that's division. So I can represent that with 20 green beads total divided by 4 green beads per keychain is going to equal to n, which is the number of keychains. Okay. But that doesn't answer the big question. I need to know how many blue beads she has total and how many red beads she has to use. So let me think. How can I figure out the total number of red beads? Well, the total red beads, so I know how many she uses for each bracelet or keychain. And then I can figure out how many keychains there are. So I can do the total for the red beads can equal to 3 red beads per keychain times n, which is the number of keychains. I know the number of groups, I can figure that out, and I know the amount that goes in each group. Okay, I can do a very similar thing for the blue beads. So the total of the blue beads is going to equal to 6 blue beads per keychain times n, which is the number of keychains. Multiplication makes sense because we're looking for a total and we know the amount that goes in each group, and we can figure out through our first equation how many groups that we have. Okay, this is one way your scholar can represent to solve. First, I was thinking about what's happening, what does each number represent, what's the big question? Then based on what's happening, what operations match, and how can I represent that with a labeled equation? Labels are really important because imagine if I hadn't labeled what this represented, I wouldn't have realized I could use this to help me solve for the total red beans and the total blue beans. I'm going to stop right here. When you're at home, work with your scholar and finish solving this problem. And reach out if you have any questions or concerns. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.